As we finish up the year, it's important for us to note a few things in our lives. It's very important towards the end of the year and towards the beginning of a new year. Allow me to talk to you about times and seasons. Times and seasons are given to everyone, but it is how you deal with them which is important. It is how you deal with them which is important. A season comes with a lot of changes. Every new day comes with positives and negatives, and that is the fact. Every new day comes with positives and negatives, whether you want it or not. You may be wanting only positives, but nature accords both ways. That is why it is important for you to know how to deal with whatever comes your way. Every new second, minute, hour, day, month, or new year is a signal that the past has gone and the new has come your way. It accords you an opportunity of making things better. That is why there are times and seasons. They accord you opportunities to make things better. That is why we need to be cautious with how we deal with times and seasons. There are seasons of sowing, growth, fruiting, and harvesting. Seasons of sowing are seasons of looking for a job, seasons of establishing ideas, seasons of new ventures, seasons of looking here and there. And seasons of growth involve bettering what you've put in place or having somewhere you're working, diligently serving your employer. Those are seasons of growth, growing into or through a job. And then we also have what we call seasons of fruiting. And these are seasons of earning from your line of work, earning from that which you've already put into place. And lastly, we have seasons of harvesting. And these are seasons of profiting from your work, profiting from the idea you created or the company you established, and saving for the future. Now, as we enter into a new season, we are winding up a year and entering into a new year. There are important aspects of our lives which we need to deal with. Aspect number one is loving yourself. It is important for you to love yourself despite your imperfections. We are not 100%. We have a lot of imperfections, but it doesn't matter what shortcoming has come your way. Love yourself. Have you accorded yourself true love? Feel compassion for yourself as you struggle through life. It is important for you to show yourself love. Learn to respect your spirit and physical body. Learn to respect your spirit and physical body. They are your first investments before anything else. Without life, there is nothing you can do. That is why you need to deal with your life cautiously. Don't be so eager into helping others and you end up treating yourself poorly. As you mind about others, it is important for you to mind about yourself too. Sometimes it's necessary for you to stroke your heart once in a while and you tell yourself that you love yourself. It is important for you to love yourself. How can you love others without loving yourself? It's very important. Number 2 is how you can deal with stress. After loving yourself, it is also important for you to learn the different ways of dealing with stress. Because stress may lead you into hating yourself or hating what you do. So I'm going to take us through a practical way of dealing with stress. Now it's very simple. Just get a piece of paper and write down everything that stresses you out. And as you write it down, imagine that you are getting everything out of your heart. As you pen it on paper, just imagine that you are getting each and everything out of your heart. And now that you've gotten each and everything out of your heart, that means that the stresses are now contained on a piece of paper away from your mind. So relax. Relax, my friend. Tell yourself you will go through the list tomorrow, item by item, starting with the list. See how good you're feeling. Now sleep over it. You can even take a night. Sleep over it. Sleep with good thoughts. Because the stresses are out of your mind and they are written on a paper. And when you open your eyes the next morning, your mind and body will be ready. I guarantee you will feel very okay. Stressing yourself about something will not take it away. That is why sometimes you need to be in a low mode when you are dealing with some things. That is why you need to try that practical experience of dealing with stress. Another thing you need to deal with is criticism. In our walks of life, we meet different people. And these different people, some of them are people who are dear to us. Family members. It could be your husband. It could be your boyfriend. It could be your sister or brother. It could be your good friend. And they do not like that which we do. They criticize us. They criticize how we dress and very many other things. But how you deal with criticism is very important. So allow me to take you through how one can deal with criticism. Just don't give up on anything when you are faced with criticism. Learn to brush aside what people who don't know you say about you. Because you are an original and you know yourself best. What another person talks about you or says about you does not matter. Having critics actually means that people notice what you are doing, that you get other people's attention. So the only remedy of dealing with criticism is encouraging yourself in what you are doing, and you continue doing that which you've been doing. Because criticism may deter you from reaching your end point. That is why sometimes you need to act deaf to what you hear about what others say about you. You act deaf and you continue doing what you know best. That is how people deal with criticism. And lastly, I want to talk to you about how you can deal with mistakes. In our walks of life, we come face to face with mistakes. We are like babies who are just learning how to walk. They fall. But the beauty about babies is that they don't give up. One fall cannot deter him from trying to stand or trying to walk. He always gets himself up and continues with that which he or she has been doing. And even as adults, when we are dealing with mistakes, we need to have the mentality of babies, not giving up. A baby who gives up with crawling, a baby who gives up with standing, a baby who gives up with walking will never walk. That is why it is within their mindset. Even if he falls and cries, he gathers himself up and begins walking again. So that example can teach us on how to deal with mistakes. And life teaches us through mistakes. So mistakes are part of our lives. Failure is part of life. Repeated failure is what leads to success. When you make a mistake, simply ask yourself what you are meant to learn from it. Just look for a lesson from that mistake. When we accept such lessons with humility and gratitude, we grow into our lives and in that which we are doing. That is why mistakes are an opportunity of growth in our lives. So let's allow ourselves to learn from our mistakes. As we enter into new seasons, it is important for us to love ourselves. It is important for us to learn how to deal with criticism. It is important for us to learn from our mistakes. And when we get to deal with all that, we'll have what we call a full life of living. Be blessed, my friends. And thank you for watching. If you found value in that which I've talked to you about, subscribe. And don't hesitate to share. May the good Lord bless you.